Hello everyone, this is going to be my lather review of the Cella Red Tub Soap slash cream slash croap, I guess. This is what it looks like. It comes in a nice red tub, as you might have seen. It's 5.4 ounces. There you go. Sorry, I'm recording this on my iPad, but it has a pretty clean ingredient list. That's what it looks like inside. Has this nice, I guess, there you go. You can see the light reflecting off of it. It has this nice creamy color to it. It is pretty soft. As you can see, I'm making little dents in it. And it's, first impressions, right when I got it off the bat, this stuff smells pretty amazing. Everyone says it smells like marzipan, but I don't know if you're like me, but I didn't know what marzipan was at the time. So I looked it up, I googled it before I got it. Still didn't make sense. They use it like in cakes and some other stuff. I probably had some food with it in it. I just didn't know it was marzipan. But for those of you that don't know, as soon as I lathered it up, or as soon as I opened it up, it smells like almond with a hint of cherry. And if you like almond soaps, for example, another one I have is the Razor Rock Classic. That is like straight up almond. It's a nice scent. It's really similar to the Razor Rock, except I would say that it's a little lighter, which is probably a good thing. The Razor Rock is pretty heavy on the almond, so if you don't like that much almond, then this is pretty nice. And then on top of that, this has a hint of cherry in it, which, you know, I mean, it smells like cherry to me. It might not smell like cherry to other people, but that's the best way I can describe it, is cherry almond. And that's the thing that really stands out for Cella for me, is the scent. As far as lather goes, it's good, but, I mean, it's thick, but I don't know if it's anything particularly special, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. But, you know, a lot of people probably disagree with me, but let me show you. So, what I'm gonna do is, since this is a cream slash soap, I usually don't wet it like I do with my soap, so I'm just gonna set this aside. I have two brushes sitting in my hot water. I have the 24mm Whip Dog, and I have the 22mm, the 24mm Whip Dog Silver Tip, and this is a 22mm, also Whip Dog, with a white resin handle instead of the black. This is a synthetic. So I usually use a synthetic for face lathering, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake off some water. I do pretty dry loads, as you probably have noticed in some of my other videos, or if you haven't, I mean, I take a pretty good amount of water out, because that's always, you know, you can always add water, but it's, you know, you can't take it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and load that. You can probably hear that. You know, it loads pretty easily. I don't want to overload, but I also don't want to underload, and since I have so many soaps, I'm pretty generous with how much I put on there. But at the same time, I don't want to be wasteful. So I think that's good. There's my soap. I'm going to wet my hand with some hot water. And here I go. So, Cella. Italian soap. It's soft, like most Italian soaps. God, the smell. The smell is the reason why I think most people love Cella. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's the reason why I love Cella. It's the reason why I haven't sold it yet. I sell a lot of my stuff that, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of, or if I feel like I'm not going to use it, but this is something I'm keeping, and for a good reason. And it lathers pretty easily, but this smell is just awesome. You know, it's like I said, it smells like marzipan, and I believe they put marzipan on cakes. So it's really sweet, but at the same time, it's not too sweet. But, you know, if you're not a fan of sweet, then I'm not sure if you will like it. But if you are, this smells awesome. It's really unique in my opinion, and it's not that expensive. I got this for about 10 bucks. I think it's totally worth it considering how long it's gonna last. But there's my lather. You know, it's nice, dense lather. Probably could do a little better, but for the sake of time, that's all I'm gonna do. Really cushiony, really slick. Really slick, and this is actually one of the first times I'm actually noticing it, because I've only lathered it once, but very, very, very slick. Holy Crap, dude, I never noticed that. Yeah, it's really nice and slick, thick lather, you know, peaks. I mean, if you could see that, this is probably still too dry. I could do a little more. It should get to a point where it's all over the place if I add more water. But there you go. So yeah, it's nice and peaky, slick, thick lather. Smell is amazing. I love the smell. There's what I have in my brush. I'll try to do a better job with the bowl lather, but there it is. If you can hear that, you know, nice, good lather. Post shave, I have to say, compared to some of my other products, for example, like Bear Stearns Man and Synergy, post shave is probably not as great. Your face feels a little drier, but that can easily be solved with some good aftershave. And what I mean by drier is just a little drier. It's not like your face is actually dry. It's just not as smooth as it is with the other ones. So here's my 24mm with dog. One of the things I don't like about this soap, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the red tub. It's awesome. You know, it's unique. It stands out in my whole collection, but it's kind of small. I mean, that's a really small, like my brush barely fits in there. But it's not a problem with load time. It's just, what I do is I push my fingers on top of the bristles. You can see it right there. So that I can, you know, get some soap on it. But I can still do it. It's not like I can't. So, loaded it up. Here's my bowl. Has some residual water. Here's my brush. So I'll just go ahead and start lathering. Cella, I mean, if you haven't tried it, try it. Some people swear by this stuff. They love it. Which I totally understand. I'm not going to disagree with them. But, in terms of lather, it's good. But, in my opinion, it's not the best. But it's good. It is one of the best scents, though. So, it depends on what you go for. Lather scent. I mean, it still does a really good job. It's not like it's a bad lather. Actually, this is whipping up pretty good. So, this is actually whipping up really good. God, this scent. I can smell it from here. It's a nice scent. Not too overpowering. Nice and soft, sweet scent. Look at that lather. Yeah. So there's a lather. And I could probably do a little more, but for the sake of time, that's all I'm going to do. There it is. So yeah, Cella lathers really well. There's the lather from inside. But I've had better, and I've also had better post-shave. This gives you more of a clean feel versus a very smooth, you want to touch your face every 10-second feel. So I'm just going to go ahead and get cleaned up. Cella, highly, highly, highly recommend. It's not very expensive. Totally worth it. If you're in for scent, especially almond scent, you almond scent lovers, you definitely got to try this stuff. It's beautiful. Yeah, so, you know, the scent, cherry almond, really nice. Really, really nice. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.